Thank you so much for being here and for listening to my channel and being at this reading. It means everything, so really thank you. Okay, today's reading is something significant is about to happen. So I just feel like there's this kind of wonderful, exciting electric change in the air, and yeah, we're going to find out what significant things about to happen for you. And we have 4 crystal cards here, and I just want you to pick the card that speaks to you, calls out to you. You might think it's the prettiest, the ugliest, doesn't even matter, just the card that jumps out at you, and that's going to be your reading. And you can jump to your timestamp below and get your reading on something significant that is about to happen. So I look forward to seeing you, and thank you so much. Goodbye. Hello, thank you so much for being here and listening to my channel. This is Light and Bone Tarot, and I am going to be doing a reading for you. We are going to be reading for something significant is about to happen. Something's in the air, something is just gonna happen, and it's exciting, I believe. And this is ruby, or a little small cluster of rubies. So yeah, and yeah, just very pretty, very simple, very, I don't know, very pretty. Okay, so doing things ever so slightly differently. I'm going to start this before I get into tarot. I pulled a rune card for your reading, and runes are generally cast with stones, but I did pull a card for you. And the rune card is Daga. It looks like it's pronounced Dagaz, but it's actually pronounced Thagaz. And basically it's dawn and daylight. It's like a new hope, new beginnings, and kind of like the symbol of just new starts and awakening, transformation, breakthrough, improvement. So we can come back to that, but I want to keep that here and kind of just like keep this in the background for new hopes and new beginnings. And it makes me think that the theme is going to have something to do with like a breakthrough for you. So let's get into what significant thing is on the horizon for you. And we're gonna turn over all sorts of cards to get this right. So okay, we have houseplant tarot cards is what we have. Okay, so this is the 6 of Swords. All right, the 3 of Cups and the 4 of Swords. So it just like in a word with these cards, the 4 of Swords, it makes me think of like rest, maybe relaxation, but yeah, just like respite, a break, just a little bit of like kind of like a downtime, a much needed downtime just to clear your head. And then with the 6 of Swords, it is this sort of moving on. It implies that wherever you're going, it's better than where you've been. At least that's how I like to see it. And it almost brings this peace of mind that's coming up for you. Something I really do see just with this, I see peace, I see rest, I see, I don't know, just like a calm. And the 3 of Succulents being the 3 of Cups is very much just an all around warm and fuzzy, like very positive card of friendship, just positive emotions, but really a card of like coming together and friendship. And it could be celebration, but it's just it's like the warm fuzziness in a card. And given just this little bit, I really think that what's significant is about to happen for you. I think there's something that's been weighing on you or even plaguing you, or it's been a drain, and it could be family, relationships, work, but we can get into that a little bit more. But I think it's going to end. I know that it's not just going to end, but I think it's going to end in a way that like you really want to see it end. It's going to make you feel very complete, very happy. I feel like there's just this sense of calm and relief that's basically coming your way. And if you're hearing this message and it speaks to you, I mean, we all can say there's something that we want to end. Like everyone can think of one thing, but this one thing for you is something you've been, like, you know what I'm talking about. And not only, like I said, is it going to end, but you're going to be so much happier with what transpires as a result of this. Like there will be there's a light at the end of your tunnel. There's a breath of fresh air coming your way. You can finally rest. You can finally be still. You can finally move on from this chaos and just take a deep breath and just be calm and still and with yourself. And I don't know. And I'm getting into the runes, and they're different than tarot, but they're pretty incredible. And they have these sort of solitary messages that I guess you could tell a whole big story behind, but I don't know them well enough to do that. But in the words of just this one symbol combined with this, I really think that this is kind of a solitary journey for you. I think this is your path. And this could be leaving a job that you've been at for a long time, or something you've worked very hard on for a long time, and you're letting it go. You're releasing it. This could be a family member that you're kind of just giving them their time and their space, and you're going to step back or away from that. This could be a relationship that you're departing in any capacity. I just feel like this is something you need. And I don't even know that whether it's been toxic or not isn't really relevant. I think it's something that's just weighed on you. I feel like for you, it's created this kind of it's felt toxic to you. It's been draining you. It's been taking from you. It hasn't given you anything. Whatever this is, maybe it's giving you a paycheck, but that is it. And I don't even think that right now is worth what it's put you through. Or maybe it's, a partner that's giving you this, but they're taking all this in return, or a family member. I'm not sure, but I really do think that there's something very calming and happy and positive and just a true sense of relief coming your way. And that's always a welcome message, I think. Okay, so I want to see in a few more cards how this is going to affect you. What is this significant, this significant change that's going to happen for you? How is this going to affect you? What do you basically have to look forward to as your own kind of future unfolds here? And we've got the Ten of Pentacles, which is a really just positive, happy card. We have the Tower, and I'll get into that. And we have the Hierophant. So the Ten of Pentacles, I'll start there, because this is a very, it's so funny when I look at these pictures. You can't tell anything. These are just, it's so funny, but pretty deck. The Ten of Pentacles is, I've said it before, it's the pinnacle of the pentacles. This is all the culmination of all your hard work paying off, right? This is your home, your foundation, your work, your livelihood, all the things that you would spend money on or ever want to spend money on, or all the things you could buy or accumulate with money, from your home to your food to your health in some ways. This is really, these things are going to come together for you. And I don't think they're totally out of whack for you right now, but I think there's this external person or feature or something, some energy that's over here that's really been just overshadowing everything for you. And that is going to lift. But I do see what's in store for you. Yeah, your home, your work, in whatever capacity you want it to be, your life, your livelihood, that's intact, that's strong, that's good, you're good. And the Tower, it does reconfirm for me that something is going to end. And I'm going to say something, and by end, I mean obviously in a good way, but in a this isn't, we're done with this kind of way. And it doesn't mean that you're cutting this person, if it is, out of your life forever. It might just be look, I can't deal with you right now. I can't deal with this. I need this for my own sanity. And with the Four of Swords, this really is a taking care of yourself card. This is you finally stepping up and being I need this. I've earned this. I've deserved this. And yeah, so you're going to put an end to whatever was truly taxing you. And with that does come, this could be you, whether it's meditating, whether it's doing yoga, whether it's baking, reading, walking, doing something, just enjoying yourself, enjoying your own space, enjoying your peace, enjoying your own company. And maybe that's something you haven't really done. Maybe as of late, when you've been alone, you've been anxious, or you've been feeling like you need to be out doing this, or you need to be with other people, or whatever. I just feel like you're getting to a point of a real stillness and calm. And I don't want to harp on that message too much, but that really is something I'm seeing. And I hope if you're here that that's actually exciting to you. It doesn't have anything to do with like you being bored or you not having like social engagements or an active life, and nothing like that. It just means in those moments when you are like on your own, you're chill, you're calm, you're at peace. And this in turn does make you more vibrant, more sexy, more appealing, more dynamic, more everything that you may feel lacking now for whatever reason. This is coming your way. And the Hierophant, I think you've reached this really from listening to yourself. I'm sure there's been external sources of help. Maybe you have probably a strong friend network, or you're getting advice from someone that you are either like paying for this advice, and that's great, or someone that you trust and you turn to for input. But I feel like this is a lot of like, you've reached whatever conclusion you've drawn, you've reached it yourself. This is you saying like, I'm ready for this, I need this. And maybe it's just been nagging at you for a while. Maybe you've just sensed like, I really want this, and it's time for me, and here I go. So I like this new beginning for you, this fresh start. And I kind of want to see, having fun with all these different cards. Like, okay, so we know that you're leaving something behind, and okay, that's good to know. I don't know that it's necessarily exciting. It might be exciting, but like, where's the excitement in this? Because this significant thing is like, there's got to be this kind of like this exciting build up. So I'm going to turn over a couple cards to try to gauge this. Like, I just want to get you excited about this. I don't want it to feel like another task or another chore or another thing you're waiting to have happen or something else you have to do, because I almost feel like this is going to be effortless for you. You've been wanting to do this. You need the rest. You need the quiet. You need the stillness. You need to move on. You need that new day. Like, you want to wake up in the morning and be like, okay, this is my new day. I'm excited. I can't wait to make that cup of coffee or whatever. Like, this is you just kickstarting. I mean, you can even look at it as like kickstarting this summer or just whatever. Okay, so I want a card that's going to just somehow speak to something to get you excited about this, and then we can turn over some tarot for like just some fun excitement. And I've got the Bee, and the Bee to me is, there's a very social aspect to this. And so I will say this, I don't think you're very I don't think you're like an introvert. I think you actually do have a social quality to you. There's something about you that, when I'm probably talking about like, oh, all this quiet and calm and rest and, time out, you're probably like, that kind of sounds like hell. Like, this is the summer. I want to have fun. I want to be out. I want to be engaging with people. I want those relationships. I want to flirt. I want to date, whatever it is. Like, or if you're in a relationship, like, you want that to get amplified. And there's nothing here to say that like you aren't in a relationship. You can be going through this and be married, committed, single. Like, this isn't really about a relationship status to me right now. Unless this speaks to a relationship that you clearly need to leave. But I don't know why I'm not necessarily getting that vibe from it. Only because I'm not seeing romance. This to me seems like something else that has probably worked its way into romantic aspects of your life. Like, this may be an issue that if you are dating, it kind of like always gets in the way of that. Or if you go on a date, you find yourself always talking about this, or this is like weighing on your mind, or it's there. If you're out with friends, you're kind of still thinking about this, or your friends are always asking like, hey, where do things stand with this person or with that situation or with that coworker? Like, this is going to be so far behind you that I just feel like people are going to look at you and be like, oh, you look good. Like, what'd you do? And literally you're just probably going to be like, I slept great and I feel like $1 million. So this is the significant thing that's going to happen. And we're going to get back to B, because to me, B is like a very social, very fiery, very determined little fucker. Like, the Bee is, there's a sting, but there's also, the beauty of it, just like working together with all its little partners. And just, I mean, I can go on to talk about what a Bee does, and I'm sure you know the same level of what a bee does as I do. I've never really studied bees before, but I know that they're social creatures, and I know that they really enjoy this interaction. And I feel like, the bee doesn't want to be told that it's going to have all this time alone, maybe to gather nectar, and that's great and that's fun, but I think it really wants to be around people. And I want you to know that I see something very social and exciting coming up for you. And I don't just mean like, oh, you're going to find someone and you're going to work together with someone on a project. I don't really know that that's what I see. I just see you, if you really want this to turn into like a relationship, if you really, by this, I mean this like time, this space that you're going to have, this like beautiful gap of like potential and possibility. If you want that to go towards a relationship, I see that happening for you. If you want it to go towards like a work project or time spent with friends or reading like those 10 books you wanted to read, I don't know, but I really do see this going in a direction primarily where it leads to like a social outlet that you've been craving or really wanting. And I actually almost feel like this is kind of like a good omen thing. And in part, I guess this reading, it feels kind of two parts, because it does feel like the significant thing is that, yes, you are going to confidently and like happily, energetically, positively drop something that is not serving you right now and draining you. But then also you're going to get that door closing, and the door that opens as a result of that is something you really want. And yes, it is coming your way. So if this is the relationship, if this is like the next level of the relationship that you're in, if this is maybe like a tremendous friend group or a best friend, I don't know, but something is coming your way as far as like another person that you can really, whatever kind of connection you want with them, I really believe that's in the cards for you. And it's a very, very strong message that I'm seeing. And so I'm going to get this like personality card, I call them. I don't think that's what they're called, but this is like this is how I see you very, very shortly. I'm not going to put a time frame on it, but I feel like this could be like within the next day or week. Like this is, once you drop the chaos, and it's not even like chaos, it's that weight. Like once you get rid of that kind of dead weight right now, this is you. And so we've got lake, we've got depth. It seems a little dark. It doesn't seem like this isn't like you partying at Coachella necessarily, but like this is you still kind of in your thoughts. All right, let's find like a really fun spin on this. I don't know, this is kind of like I'm going to see this as like a fairy tale here, because there's still depth, right? You're still you still have memories. And this actually makes me think that whatever you're leaving or kind of like turning away from right now, or making the conscious effort to part with, I still think it's going to be in your life in one way or another. And I can't really explain that. Like maybe it is a family member that you like put some distance between, but it's still your family and you guys still love each other and there will be a time to come back together. Or maybe this is a job that you're like, look, I need to take some time off. I need a break. I need a season off, or like a project or something. A book you've been writing and you're like, I don't even want to think about writing for 6 months or whatever. But so it does tell me that whatever this is, it's not totally leaving your life, but it is absolutely exiting right now for the right reasons. And I think when it returns, it will take on a completely different form. So let those words resonate. And that comes back to the Tower for me. And it's just reinstilled in the fact that like the things you want, the things you've worked hard for, the things you've made and sacrificed for, they're not going anywhere. This is your 10 of Pentacles. This is your home. You're grounded. You're good. Like things are really good for you. But yes, I do think you're kind of going to be living in this fairy tale. And this is coming your way. So as weird of a time as I had describing this card, just know that you do have this kind of like almost dream state that you're going to be existing in, and it's going to really, really serve you, and it's going to feel good, and you're going to be happy. And I just can't stress enough like how positive this reading is. This is a very, very nice reading. It's pretty simple. I like the aesthetic, like it looks good, everything's on point. I just feel like this is a great reading, and I hope it speaks to you. Okay, so I'm gonna I hope I don't blow everything out of the water with this. Sorry, Spirit, you wouldn't do that. But I'm gonna get these are like quote cards. So there's words on each one of these cards. And this is gonna be, we're gonna ask for input from Spirit. And she's funny with these cards. She more often than not produces the card that has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on. So we are gonna take it with a grain of salt. But I just have so much faith in this particular reading that I want to ask Spirit for some advice, and we'll make the best of it. So, Spirit, what advice do you have for this person? And again, I kind of see this as like, I want you to get excited. Like if you're watching this, I want you to feel like just lit up right now. Like I want you to know exactly what I'm talking about, and like you want to turn the reading off right now. You're so excited and happy. You want to like run out the door and just be like, yes, I've got this. I'm going to get that new haircut. I'm going to get those shoes I've wanted. Like life is good. I need to treat myself. Like, let's get this started. That's how I want you to feel right now. And I've like never said that about a reading before, but there's just something very unique and dynamic about this particular reading. So, okay, let's get some input from Spirit about just input from Spirit. We'll leave it there. Okay. So this is a perfect example. Choose friends wisely. I'm not going to say this has nothing to do with friends, but this is it though. We asked for advice and this is what we got. Choose friends wisely. I don't know what this means, but if I were to speculate, I would say that you are going to be, and I am repeating myself, entering into this new phase of like almost perfection. Things are going to be truly clicking for you. I feel like where you need energy, where you need input, how you want your life to play out very shortly is going to be exactly what you need and what you want, what you've wanted for a very long time. And because you will have, gotten rid of some things that have been dragging you down, weighing you down, and here we go. And I think in this new phase you're in, this new whatever you want to call it, maybe the friends you have are all amazing, but maybe you'll meet new people. And I don't think this really speaks to the friends you have. That's not a vibe I'm getting, unless there's like a friend that jumps out at you, but that's really not the vibe I'm getting. I think you surround yourself with some pretty amazing people. I would just say, take in the energies you want, take in the advice you want. And this could even be advice. Like you might tell your story to someone in a couple days, in a week, and they might have input that like totally contradicts all the amazing things that have happened. And it's like, you know what? Forget that person, forget their advice, just forget them. You don't need to hear it. You don't need anything to drag you down. You don't need the judgment. You don't need anything. And I'm going to say that's what this choose your friends wisely means. It doesn't mean that like you need to think about each friend and if they're right for you or if you want them in your life. I just think it means like take the advice carefully. Also next to the Hierophant card, there is something about advice, input. This to me is very much like a go with your gut and just do what feels right. And you don't, just because someone's a friend or just because you respect them or you think they're smart or whatever, it doesn't mean you always have to, I don't know, like take their advice or listen to them or hear them out, or like it's you and your life is taking on like a new kind of radical but very exciting and positive twist and turn. So yeah, do you 100% do you, and yeah, and let me know how this feels. Let me know if in 1 week from now this was totally spot on. I truly hope it is, but this is something significant is about to happen. So enjoy it, and yeah, have a great summer. Okay, thank you very much. I hope to see you soon. Goodbye. Light and Bone Tarot, thank you so much for being here and for letting me read for you and just for being at my channel. So thank you 1,000 times. We are doing a reading for something significant is about to happen. It was a great first reading, so I'm really excited because you've got this beautiful little cluster of sapphires, which apparently can be colors other than green or blue. Pink, very nice. Okay, so here we are, and I started by pulling a rune card, which are usually stones. I'm kind of new to this, but I do have a deck of rune cards, and I produced for you Theresa. I'm probably not pronouncing it right, but I will tell you what I learned about this rune, and it's going to kind of set off like the theme of what something significant is about to happen. And this has a few meanings. This can be seen, I guess the significance or the symbolism of this is that it's a thorn and it's kind of like protection, protect yourself. However, I didn't love that, so I kept on reading, and it looks like this can also indicate an unexpected change and a stroke of luck resulting in good fortune. This is definitely a card of, quite frankly, good fortune. And then another interpretation is that willpower can be required here. So I'm going to say this is good fortune and sheer will. So we will see where this good fortune is landing you. But if we've got something significant that's about to happen and the theme here is like good fortune, yeah, I like that. And let's see what that's in. I mean, let's be honest, it's we want it to be love or money. Like, we want to get a lot of money really quick, or we want like everything we ever wanted with love and relationships. So let's see which one of those two it is. I want to see what significant thing is going to happen to you that surrounds this good fortune. So let's get a reading on you. Okay, Knight of Potted Trees. So this is basically the Knight of Pentacles. Page of Potted Trees, very interesting. And it looks like I didn't shuffle this deck or like I've ever used it before, but neither of those are accurate. And the King of Cacti. Okay, so Pentacles to me is very much, it's money, it's material things, it's what your hard work can get you. Yes. So the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, these are like the two most resourceful, practical, logical, boring, suits of the, oh my gosh, of the court cards, of the court people. So although I'm not going to say something tremendously exciting isn't coming your way, but it doesn't necessarily look like there's this over the top excitement. It does look like we could have something coming your way with like money, success, I don't know, fame, if that's what you're seeking. But there's something here to me with like success and money. And the page this represents like a very like educated, scholarly, smart, determined, absolutely willful, like will do whatever it takes to achieve whatever they want. And this with like the Knight, who basically never puts a wrong foot forward, will wait 100 years to take the right step to make the right thing happen. This is sheer will here. And I will say that because there's nothing hasty about this. Like, this isn't so I don't think your good fortune is going to come from like putting a coin in a slot machine and, you know, making $10 million. This is something you've been working on. This is something you've wanted. This is something you've meditated on, something you've manifested. Like, this is very much something that you want. Not saying it doesn't have to do with love. This could be a relationship that like is absolutely perfect on paper. This could represent like the partner, the home, like just the perfect union with someone. I'm not going to rule out a relationship here, but there's something to do with like home, success, money, foundation, all those kind of material things. Like, that is here for me. And with that, like, because this card does have an element of protection to it, or this represents a thorn and it's kind of that need to protect yourself, I do feel like you are going to be able to have everything you need to protect yourself. Like, in this, whether that's your fortress, whether it's this beautiful home you've been wanting or hoping for or searching for, or this relationship that like literally is everything you've wanted, and it does feel like you've created this I don't know, this fortress of like love and caring around you. I'm not sure, but it is very much a sense of like a goodness and a security. And if that tracks, or if it's what you want to hear, then I'm super happy. The King of Cacti, I mean, the king is always, he's the strongest. I don't know if he's always the best, but he's like the most intense, let's put it that way. And for the swords, this king is very much, again, very determined. This is someone who will stop at nothing. Whereas the pentacles are very like resourceful and practical and determined in the way of like, I don't think they'd ever run away from hard work. The King of Swords is going to think through anything and find a solution and even manipulate. It will happen. What they want will happen. They will get what they want because I just feel like they can will it with their mind and their thoughts. And this I'm going to take as like the manifestation piece. I think what's coming your way is something you've absolutely thought about and dreamed about and wanted so bad. So think of what that wish is. Think of that thing that you've wanted. And I don't know, maybe it is winning the lottery. Maybe it is dating that one person in particular. Maybe it is like that home or selling your home for X amount of dollars. I'm not sure, but I feel like that is going to happen to you. And that's extreme. I mean, I don't necessarily know that you're going to buy the winning lottery ticket, but I do feel like there is going to be something very exciting and great coming your way, and it's going to be in this kind of like wish come true kind of thing. So let's play this out. Let's see what what is in store for you in regards to this kind of wishful excitement almost. And yeah, let's see what you have in store. Okay, so it's funny. King of Potted Plants. So we have the King of Pentacles, very, very much. 10 of Cacti. Okay, and okay, so we have Swords and Pentacles on the table. Sorry, I just lost my mind for a second. We have Swords and Pentacles on the table. This is money and thought. And with thought, I think here it is that, there's this whole saying about how your thoughts become your actions become your words become your reality. And I definitely messed that quote up a little bit, but that's the general theme of it. And I think here it starts with your thoughts. These events that are going to happen to you, or this one significant thing, is really something that it is not happening by accident. This is something you want, something you've worked very hard for. And if you are at a point where you're trying to start something from a business perspective, or from like your own creative endeavor, maybe something you've entrepreneurially started, done on your own, whatever, I really think you're going to see some success with this. This isn't the I know I said winning lottery ticket, and I hope that happens for you, but that's not really the vibe I'm getting here. This is very much a vibe of like you have worked your ass off towards this, and it is absolutely coming your way. The 10 of Cacti, which is the 10 of Swords, is that this kind of reminds me of like all the hard work you've put into this, all the like blood, sweat, tears, all the nastiness. Like it is all going to peak, or it has peaked, and now you get to like reap your rewards. And I just think you're in for a treat. And I love these King and Court cards, because to me there's like so much power here on the table. And the piece of this with the good fortune and the willpower, it really tracks for me. There's so much drive here. There's so much like sheer will and determination has gotten you to this point. And how that's going to pay off for you, or it will pay off. Let's just put it that way. And right now the numbers of people watching my videos are very low, so I could probably throw something pretty specific out there and it might track, but whatever it is something you've wanted and you've worked towards and thought about and dreamt. And yes, I can 100% see that for you. So I want to see for you, I've really been enjoying these cards. They are sort of like, I see them as personality pieces, or like who you would be, how this would feel. And I want to see you when this happens. Like, what you have to look forward to. So this is you in the upcoming weeks or months, whatever the time frame for this is. And I hope it's sooner than months. I hope it's sooner than weeks. And really, I just threw those times out there for no real reason. But I really, this is happening soon for you. This is about to happen. Hence the title. Something significant is about to happen. So let's see how like beautiful and excited and happy. Let's see you in a snapshot of when this happens. Okay, and it lacks some excitement. That's okay. We've got silence and snow. And I'm going to take this as peace. You are going to be truly, truly at peace. And this is the card of after the celebration. So this happens. You celebrate, you scream, you shout from the rooftops, you book a trip around the world, like you pop bottles of champagne, you go off, right? Like you do your thing. This is the card of like, the next day after that, the next week after that, like you are so chill. And by silence, like this isn't that boring, icky, kind of awkward silence. This is that like, I am so totally at peace. I am so chill. And I'm keeping my mind open for the next level. Like I feel like you are always going to be leveling up. That's kind of, you don't have all these pentacles and swords here for nothing. Like you're a thinker, you're a planner, you're a plotter, like you 100% work, and you're always thinking of next steps. And the protection piece here is like, I don't think you really rest that much. I think you're always like, you definitely have money squirreled away somewhere. You definitely have the like bunker with like how to survive an apocalypse. Like you are prepared. You're a planner. You will study up on just about anything. You can get yourself out of any situation. Like, you are so very, very capable. And now if you're not already, which you probably are, but you're about to be very successful as well, and very rewarded and seen and appreciated. There's just a lot of kind of like exciting next steps coming for you. So this is like the quiet after the beautiful chaos that is going to come. This is you like really stepping into this, like this calm. It doesn't mean there aren't parties and celebration. It doesn't mean that your summer can't be totally off the charts, or your holidays. Like, that is not what I want you to take away from here, but this is a really good card. Like, you're still, you're chill, you're not stressed, you're not a ball of anxiety, you're I don't know, you're just very much at peace. And if you aren't usually this, because you probably do function from a pretty anxious, revved up place, I feel like this is it's kind of your vibe. This is like your brand. This is what you do. You're intense, you're smart, your wheels are always cranking. I don't know that you can take naps. Like, you're just that person. But this will be a nice little reward, and you'll dig this. And this will be like the time when your face just kind of like relaxes into like an even more beautiful face. Like, you just get to chill the F out a little bit. And yeah, and I don't know, I mean, it's spring right now, so who knows when you're watching this, but maybe this is like, okay, when winter comes, everything you want is like gonna be falling into place. Like, you wouldn't have a single thing to like bitch or moan about. Like, all your money is going to be in order, all your work, all your finances. And then for you, it's like, yeah, then it's the next step. Then it's like, what comes after that? But yeah, things are good for you, 100%. And I'm going to keep going with some Oracle. I want to see a card that kind of describes this a little bit more, because let me just, something that's going to really speak to you. And when we turn this card over, we'll get it. But like, what's just like kind of like a gift from spirit? What is coming, and what kind of information can we get about it? So butterfly, I mean, this butterfly, transformation, metamorphosis, but also when I see this, I think of something beautiful. I think of like, there's something just so beautiful about the butterfly. Not everyone, I mean, a lot of people have a butterfly tattoo. It would be on my top 5 if I had to get a tattoo. You know, it would be my version of a butterfly. It would probably look something like this, actually. But it is very much like, there's just something very beautiful and flitty and flighty and new and exciting. And it's like this dusting of like just magical pixie dust. Like, there's something, I don't know, I'm seeing something beautiful in your future. And really, like, there's a beauty here. And I actually do think it has something to do with like an external, we're not talking about internal beauty right now. That's there and that's great and that's always important. But we're talking about like something very externally beautiful about you. And somehow this is going to make you feel more confident, more beautiful, more secure, more just like lit up from the inside out. And it's going to show. I really get like, this to me is a card of radiance. And I guess this is like, sure, we know you've got this gift coming. We know that you're going to see this success, this like your bank account grow, whatever it is, whatever this measure of success is for you, you're going to see it. But I also want you to like look in the mirror and be like, damn, I feel good. Like, I love what I see. I can't wait to go to the beach or hit the trail or take my dog out or whatever. Like, just that other piece where now you get to actually have fun with this and enjoy you and enjoy the rewards. And I really see this as like an externally beautiful thing. And I might have said this like in one of my readings a couple days ago, but like, this could be anything from like, I don't know, like getting Botox. Maybe you've always wanted to, or maybe you're overdue for it, or maybe it's the haircut you wanted, or maybe it's like, I just feel like it's something kind of superficial that this money might be able to afford you, and it's something you've really wanted. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a nose job, maybe it's a boob job. Like, I'm not judging at all what it is, but I think there's something that money can buy you that you've wanted, and it's going to make you feel even more beautiful. And that is really going to like, it's going to make you happier. And not the kind of happier, like, not even though I think it will be a superficial thing, I think the peace and the happiness it's going to bring you is a lot more than that. It's going to give you a level of security and confidence that maybe has really been lacking. And so if you can look forward to like checking all these boxes of like, yes, I'm going to achieve this with my work, career, success, whatever it is. I feel protected. I feel safe. I've got my house. Everything's in place. And I'm going to get to like do this one thing. That's pretty much your reading. I'm going to pull over these cards that I always give a warning from, because I feel like these are the cards where Spirit likes to joke, because I specifically ask her, these are quote cards, for input from Spirit. And I turn these cards over and they almost never have anything to do with what we're talking about. And they almost always have a message that's like kind of not amazing given the context. So like the last reading was this great reading. And then, the message from Spirit was like, don't trust your friends or something to that extent, like, or watch out who your friends are. And it's like, that doesn't really have anything to do with anything. And now I'm worried about that, but we'll see. We're asking her for input. In some way, this will track. So let's go with that. And yeah, because this is a really, okay, correct your mistake. So I do like these cards, and Spirit, thank you. We asked for it, and here we go. We got it. So correct your mistakes. I don't know what this is. We were just talking about potentially enhancing, dehancing some part of your body. But that's not really the mistake I'm thinking of, because that's not really a mistake. I don't know what this means, but I do think that, okay, here's my message. Here's what I'm getting from this. Before you change something to feel beautiful on the outside, change the thing that's also going to make you feel beautiful on the inside. So everything seems to be falling in place for you. And I really, really see that. I see that in so many ways. And I see you. I don't think you're this flashy, over the top person. I don't think you're someone, I feel like you're someone that could get their hair cut at like Supercuts for the last 5 years just to like save money or whatever. Like you're just, there's something humble or like wonderfully simple about you. And that doesn't mean in every aspect you're like that. Like, but there's something about you that can be a little like turned down and a little, humble is really the word I want to get to. So I think before you go on this, before you change anything about yourself externally, which is a small piece of this whole reading, but that's what I see here. I want you to work on one thing internally, or Spirit does. This is the message. So maybe something you have to fix, maybe it's an apology, and I really think this is here so that when you change something, you do it, you like 100%, you feel good, you're happy, you're confident, you're not doing it to overcome anything or to override any other thought or feeling, like you're doing it in the best conscious. And that's random, and might not speak to everyone, but anyway, I think there's something you need to do. I don't know. I'm not even going to keep talking about it, but the card is correct your mistakes. And I don't think this is, what I want to say is I don't think this is major. I think this is like one conversation. I think this is one phone call, one text, something like that. It's very simple. It's a little thing. It's not big, but it's just one thing you need to do. And it's going to make all this fall into place. Like all this is going to feel right and secure. Anyway, I'm going to leave the reading here. I think this is a really beautiful reading. And there's something very significant in store for you. And then there's like a fun little icing on top, which I kind of focused almost too heavily on. So, I'm sorry if that felt like it, but yes, great, positive, fun, healthy, lovely, beautiful you. And, let me know, like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to tell me about this. I would love to hear it. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and for listening to my channel and letting me read for you. I really love this reading. I've never done it before, and it is something significant is about to happen. And yes, I'm just stick around. It's going to be a good one, or at least the other two have. So this is pile 3, and this is Lemurian quartz. And these pictures are so beautiful. The crystals are beautiful. Just the colors. It's a great crystal card. Okay, so here you are. So I did something different. I started with a rune card. Usually runes are stones that you cast, but there is a rune card deck, and I pulled one to kind of get a theme of this reading, and we're going to go from there. And this is pronounced, well, this is how they say you pronounce it. It's probably not how you should pronounce it, but Gibo. And the theme of this is basically there can be a surprise gift arriving in your life soon, and it can be, well, it can be various things, but one thing that stuck out at me is they said it could be discovering a hidden talent. And the theme is generosity and opportunity, or well, that's the meaning of Gibo, generosity and opportunity. But in bold, I have the surprise gift and hidden talent. And I'm going to tell you, this is something like right there. Like for me, my surprise gift / hidden talent, I would love to think is reading tarot. And this is now completely and utterly my passion. And if I would have had this reading like a year ago, I would have felt like, oh my God, I know what I'm doing with my life. And something tells me that this is your pile to be like, your life's going to take direction soon. I really think this is going to have to do with some kind of, surprise gift. And I think it might have to do truly with your talents, or even developing a talent that you didn't even know you had. Maybe you're like searching right now for what the hell you're doing with your life. I get that more than anything, or I got that more than anything, and now I'm reading tarot on YouTube, but with 75 subscribers, but hopefully that'll change one day. So anyway, my point is I think that's the direction this is going, but we're going to find out. I want to turn 3 cards over to kind of find out what this surprise gift, what the theme of this might be. So, okay, we've got King of Potted Trees, which is the King of Pentacles. Great card. Queen of Succulents, Queen of Cups. I'm like really reading these. And the 3 of Flowering Plants, which is the 3 of Wands. So a little bit of everything. If we turned over a 4th card, it would probably be a sword. But we're going to kind of get your snapshot here. Give me a second. So this to me is like foresight, really looking out. This, I mean, the King of Pentacles is very much that card of hard work paying off. This is someone who is successful, who wants success, who is driven, who is going after success. And if you are not actively going after success right now, then you are actively trying to think, what the hell am I doing with my life? And once you figure it out, you will go all in. And my gut actually tells me that you really are trying to find your place in this world. It doesn't mean you're not working. It doesn't mean you're not successful. But I think there is either something that's nagging at you where you are like, what am I doing with my life? What does the next 10 years look like? 20, 30, 50, whatever. Like, what am I doing? And is this my passion? And can I make money doing something I love more than I'm doing now? And that's with the Queen of Cups here. I think you really are putting the emotion into this. Like it's more than just money for you right now. Or you're thinking like, I can survive on this for a year if it means that I can make this much in 2 or 3. Like, what do I need to do? And this is like, that's the foresight. And I just think you're very close to figuring out what you want to do with your life. That's a huge statement. And in some ways that's exciting, but you're like, that's so vague. What does that even mean? I can't necessarily tell you what that thing is, but I am going to go with the fact that I think it might have to do with a creative endeavor. And I'm taking that verbatim from this card description, but I'm really, truly going to go with that. So let me turn over 3 more cards to kind of see what we're dealing with here. So we've got the Devil, which I'm going to say I actually like. We've got the 10 of Pentacles, great card, more about money, and the Chariot. Okay, so I think, I'm putting so much into like you hating your job or your work, and I hope that's just not me projecting on the fact that like that was me however long ago, or not hating. I love the people I work with. Let's put it that way. It was just, I always wanted to do something where there was that creative outlet, and it was that, and it was always creative, and it was always me like with some kind of creative input. And I think that's what you want. And that can mean so many things. It doesn't mean there isn't a business aspect to that. I mean, you can be like a psychologist and somehow find a way to impart some creativity into it. Like there can be like very regimented, serious jobs. Anyway, but to see these 3 cards and kind of figure out how this fits, I like the 10 of Pentacles. To me, you are like, you've got money on your mind and you know how to work. You know how to work hard. You are not this like, you may be a lost soul, but like, you know how to work hard. Let's put it that way. Your work ethic is intact. Even if it hasn't been the best in the last couple years or decades, it is like, when it comes down to it, you know, you will give it everything you've got. And the Devil card, I get the Chariot card. I think you are so ready to jump into something. I actually think that you are going to very soon have a path to this. Like, it is going to be made very, very clear to you. And the Devil card I like because it just has that little bit of edge. And given the context of this reading, I don't even know how I could say something really bad about it. But I would say that maybe, if anything, it's like, to me, the Devil card is, you really need this. Like, you know that you need to be like a happier, better version of you. You know that like, you need to find that inspiration. You need to find that creative outlet. Like, you really need this. And I think you're going to find a lot of relief in this. So if right now, like, the devil's in the details, you might be bored, you might be underwhelmed, underinspired, underpaid. And I just feel like that there's that welling up of like maybe bitterness or anger or resentment, like seeing other people succeed or other people finding their passions and jumping into it, doing what they love. And I feel like you're going to have some real good fortune in the way that something's going to be revealed to you that's going to be this like, aha, I'm doing it. And I think it's more than that. It's not just going to be like a thought. Like, you're not just going to like look up at the sky and be like, I want to fly planes. Like, I think it's going to be like, I think I want to be a pilot and I actually know how I can enter the program or whatever. Like, I think it's going to be more than just a random thought. There's going to be like structure that you can like right away start working on. Like, maybe there's a website you start building that night that you get this idea. I just feel like these wheels in motion, like, you are going to be like a moth to a flame to this once you figure this out. And I hope this speaks to you. And I mean, not that I hope you aren't seriously happy with the work you're doing now, but I think there's something for you with the creative outlet. That is very much the vibe I'm getting. And thank you to this rune card for bringing that up, because who knows where I'd be. I might be on like, oh, and you're gonna get married if it wasn't for this. But here we go. Let me do some more. Okay, let me do a couple of these cards here. So I'm doing these like personality cards, and this is going to be, in my view, once you do this, or just what the future looks like for you in a personality. Like, what can you look forward to feeling like or embodying? Because I kind of want to see you right now. I might switch it up a little because I didn't necessarily do this in the other things, but I want to see you right now. And then I want to see you once you realize like this is a direction you can take, or this is the inspiration, this like aha moment. So I'm going to do you now down here, and I'm going to do you like coming up here, and let's see if this tracks. So right now we have animals, companionship, and then up here we have the moon and darkness. And I want to tell you, I feel like these energies got switched. And I did say at the last minute, I'm going to do this and this, but I actually am going to switch these. And sometimes it's a vibe, it's a feeling, but my gut tells me that right now, sorry, I hope you don't think this whole reading's the best after I did that. But I do think right now you're in the dark. And there is this, like, to me, this moon, this darkness, there's a sense of mystery here. There's a sense of like suspension. There's this, truly you're in the dark. And I think there is something like beautiful and mysterious and sexy and alluring. And I don't just mean that like from a like sex full stop standpoint. I mean that in like the everyday, like the bits of your life. Like there's something very kind of, yes, just alluring about how you're living your life right now. I think you're like marching to your own drum. I don't think you're doing anything too conventional. Maybe you've bucked a few trends. Maybe people are always asking you like, why aren't you doing this? Your friends are doing this. Are you sure you want to study this? Like, is this really the job you want? Like, what are you doing? And you've just kind of taken things like, I don't know, like as they come, or I just feel like you're always kind of trying to figure something out. You're always thinking like, I'm going to know when it happens. The inspiration is going to be there. I'll feel it. And that to me is the darkness in the moon. But again, that's part of your allure, and it's part of what's driven you. It's part of your creative energy and drive. It's kind of that like tortured artist vibe. But it's definitely not empty, but it's, there isn't quite light shed on it. It's dark, and there's just too many questions surrounding it. So I do feel like right now, or in the past, or let's just say right now, there is kind of this darkness, but it's not a darkness. It's not a depression. It's not a sadness. It's just this like kind of darker shading, like a little hue of gray. There's this gray area for you. And we come into where I can see you, and we've got animals and companionship. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to be working with animals. That's not necessarily the vibe here. But the animals card for me with companionship is like, so animals are people who love animals, we love animals. We love our dog. They bring such a sense of fulfillment, of like happiness, of completion. There's something so satisfying about being around the animals you love, whatever that animal is. If you don't love animals and you're like allergic to every animal, then let me just say there's something for you either outside, or it has to do with nature. There's this piece of, I just think it has to do with something to do with wildlife, with animals, with nature. And I don't necessarily know that it's this creative endeavor. I don't know that it's really working with other people. There's like, I feel like almost this solitary piece to it, but your connection is, maybe you take beautiful pictures and you're connecting with nature in that way. Maybe you're drawing or writing about like, something that has to do with nature or animals, or I don't know, or you like go down this influencer route where you're like really like traveling and you're, I don't know, taking pictures of yourself on safari or something. Like there is just a piece to it where I think there's something to do with nature and animals. And I really hope that anyone watching this can incorporate that anyway. And if it was me being like, oh, I want to read tarot, what does this have to do with it? I would be a little bit at a loss because I can't relate this to everything. But there is just a very creative piece for you, and it's a passion piece, and you're going to feel it, and it's going to be passionate, and it's going to be beautiful. And don't get too hung up on the meaning of these cards, because I really see you finding your inspiration, like you finding the thing that lights you up and ignites you and makes you feel as good as an animal lover feels when they're with animals, or a dog lover when they're with your dog. Like if you love dogs, it's that feeling when you come home and your dog's like so happy to see you, and you're just, that moment, you're just so happy. It's that feeling. I just feel like that's you, in this, whatever direction this is going for you. So I hope I didn't take that in too many different directions, but I also want to this is going to be ever so slightly more serious. This is like, it's not really a personality, but it's kind of like input from spirit, just, I want to see a little more information on this. Like, what can you look forward to? If there's a place you can look for this inspiration, is it right under your nose? Like, let's just turn a card over and kind of find out what is this for you? And I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to grab this card right here because I feel like I passed a card and I wanted that for you. Okay, so Thunderbolt. And is it going to come during a lightning storm? I don't know. But to me, the Thunderbolt is like, it is a pure jolt of energy. It is that. So I actually think, it's so specific, but whatever direction your life is going to take that is new and exciting and inspirational and completely and utterly profitable, and something that you are like so capable and ready to do, and something that you are like literally, like I said, you are going to like hit the ground running, like you are on your way to it. It is like a gravitational pull that you are just not going to be able to fight. I think it's going to hit you, and it hasn't hit you yet. I don't know that you know what this is. But it is, I can't stress this enough. It is coming. And to me, the thunderbolt is like, it is this out of control. It is this, let's just call it completely random, intensity. It is this bolt. It is this electric shock. You are going to know so completely and utterly when it's there. And I have no idea what that is. It might come to you when you're petting your dog. It might come to you when you're driving down the street, because where else would you drive? I mean, but it's going to come to you, it's going to hit you, and you're going to know it. And it is going to like send shivers down your spine, and you are going to be like, oh my God, that's it. That's what I'm doing. That's my idea. That's my whatever. And the thing I see about this is like, you might be someone that always gets ideas or always has, you might have 15 websites in the works. You might have 20 URLs that you've purchased over the years, but something about this, to me, really, really has legs, and it really has the ability to like pull you in and ignite you and like just make you feel so good and alive. And I hope this is what you want in your life. I hope you weren't here for a reading about love, because that's not what this is, but this will make all the other points of your life, I think, fall in line. And I say that because like, when we're inspired, when we're happy, when we're driven, when we're making money, when the King of Pentacles is actually like working on a project and making money and buying things and saving things, like it is, you're in your element, and then that is dead sexy. That is you just like lighting up the room, and that's real. So this has this whole complete and utter trickle down effect to all the other parts of your life. And this is exciting. This whole reading for you and the two people that came before you, I have one more to do. I knew when I did this, like these readings were going to be magical. There was going to be something very beautiful and electric about each one. And that has not let me down. And I just really feel this for you. So this is your something significant / exciting, amazing is about to happen. And it is, it's a sheer bolt of inspiration that you absolutely can do. And I had one more card. Oh yeah. So this is the gift from Spirit, which if you watch the other two readings, which I doubt you will, but please do if you want, you will hear me say that she has a funny sense of humor sometimes, because these are quote cards, and I never turn over a quote card that has anything to do with the reading in this context, but it means something, and it's here for a reason. And, you know, I do believe that Spirit has a hand on these cards. So I'm going to turn over a card that is Spirit's message to you, and we'll see how you can place that and raise your vibration. So this seems a little more relevant. I said something about like, maybe you are getting, and bitter is a word that comes to me, and just a little salty, a little like cantankerous at times, a little too moody, a little too, I don't know, spiteful, or that dry sense of humor that like kind of borders on just actually cruel or mean. Just raise your vibration. I think you're going to be able to cut that out. I think you're going to find ways and things, and now this inspiration that's going to make you happier and more at ease, and all the good things that come along with raising your vibration. And I could talk about raising your vibration, but it's also pretty self-explanatory. It's doing what feels right and feels good. It's doing the right thing. I think it's living by the golden rule, and it is just, it's being happy. It's being grateful, gratitude. I think that's ultimately like if you summed it up. And so this is going to make you feel very gratuitous. Gratitude, I don't know if that's when you like tip or when you're happy. I'm not sure if gratuitous applies, but it is going to make you gracious, very gracious. That is the word. And you will practice gratitude, and this will become like a new thing for you. And who knows, you really, truly, I'm not joking here, you might start meditating. You might find these mantras, you might find these podcasts or these YouTube videos that like really speak to you. You might put them on when you're stretching in the morning. You might take on a new morning routine, yoga routine. I feel like there's a little bit more for you in the way of like just upping your positive vibes a little bit. I think you've fallen off a little bit, ever so slightly. And you know, the animals card too, like, and same with this darkness, like maybe you have been a little dark in your humor too, or just your light's been dimming just a little because you've lacked the inspiration, just that drive. And this really is like, not to go back to the animals, but like when you are surrounded by animals, you are very, very happy if you love animals, if that's your jam. And oh, like that little kangaroo in the background. Anyway, this is a good reading. I hope you liked it. I would love to hear your feedback on it. And I hope it tracks for you in every way. I hope this is like your just ultimate gift this year. And whenever you watch this, this is your gift. So yeah, I'd love to hear about it. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you again. Goodbye. Bone Tarot. And thank you so much for being here and for just visiting my channel and letting me read for you. It really is an honor, and thank you very much. So with that, we are here doing a reading for something significant is about to happen. And I'm going to tell you, this is pile 4. These readings they've just been very, very exciting and like kind of enlightening. They've just been super positive, and that's the theme here. Like, I feel like this is just a gift from Spirit somehow to share something very exciting that's going to happen in your life. And that's what's been playing out. So this is Peridot, and I did not read about it. I'm sorry, but I'm really here for the aesthetic when it comes to these crystal cards, and it tracks with everything. So you're in the right place. Okay, I've been doing something different just with this topic. I've picked a rune card. Runes are usually stones that you cast, but I'm studying runes and the cards are easy for me right now. And I picked a rune card for you, and it is pronounced Algiz, and it's elk or shield. The runes are Nordic, and they have somewhat different meanings that, elk or shield doesn't sound like something you'd want to pull today. However, the theme here is protective forces, a bit about your own defenses and keeping safe and following your instincts and personal growth. And that's kind of a mouthful, but oh my goodness. I pulled this rune card for all these piles before you to kind of like gauge where this reading is going, because I really want to hone in on like what amazing, significant thing is going to happen. And with this rune card, this could go a few different ways. I feel like this is going to be a reading about love, and I'm not sure why. I just think it's going to be the first reading of the day actually about love. But there's something here about protecting yourself, about going with your gut, this is a card of protection and shield, and so you could be here because maybe there's something, I don't know, maybe you feel like you need to take care of yourself a little better, and this could translate into so many different things, but there's something here about loving yourself, and I hope that doesn't sound cheesy. We're going to get into it, but this is going to be a very exciting and beautiful reading. I want you to know that. So let's find out what this card really means and what we can draw from it. Yeah, so let's see what significant thing is about to happen to you. And we've got the Ace of Swords, the 5 of Cups, and the 8 of Wands. So a little bit of everything here. So, okay, the 5 of Cups is a card of loss and emotional loss. The Ace of Swords is definitely new beginnings, and this is something like perhaps you're pursuing something new that has to do with like just a new action, a new direction, a new thought process, something different. And then we've got the 8 of Flowering Plants. So 8 of Wands, which is kind of going after what you want. I have a feeling that you're either in a relationship that has ended or is about to end, and I'm not predicting the end of a relationship. I'm saying this is something you already know. Something tells me things, if you're in a relationship, they're not amazing right now, or things are about to end. Okay, so this reading's a little different than the others, and I'm going to definitely find the way to find out like what significant thing is about to happen. For you, I think you're going to find some kind of strength, some kind of gift to truly like move on or get over, or like just create something very new and beautiful and exciting for yourself. And I need to get 3 more cards, but there's something here to do for me with a relationship. I can't get past that. And let me get 3 more cards about your situation and what significant thing. King of Potted Tree, so King of Pentacles. We've got the 7 of Succulents. Oh my gosh, which is the 7 of Cups. And, okay, and then the 8 of Pentacles. So I think okay, so I do think you're dealing with either a breakup or a relationship that might be ending. And I'm going to tell you, if you're here, sure, that's not an exciting message, but something significant is going to happen to you. And there's something coming your way, and we're going to get more tarot because there is something to do with like protection, like this shield. And let me tell you, maybe you do need protection right now for some reason. Maybe there is this like force that's going to come in, and you literally are going to be so much stronger than you ever could have imagined, or you aren't going to feel, let's say, like the pain that you have been thinking you're going to feel or that you've felt in the past. But I can see with the 7 of Succulents that maybe a situation that you thought was kind of magical or beautiful or perfect just didn't turn out that way. The King of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles makes me think that you probably did work pretty hard to make this work, and it just quite hasn't worked out the way you wanted. But let me tell you, if this relationship ends, it was supposed to end. And that means what I'm saying is not just like some hokey, like, oh, things happen for a reason. That's not the message. I mean, there is something exciting that will happen to you once this relationship ends. And I don't know if that's like, once the relationship ends, you don't drive where you usually drove every day at 12 o'clock and you buy a lottery ticket instead at some place you never would have been. Or maybe you find yourself either like doing something at a certain time that you never would have been doing, and then you literally meet the person you're supposed to be with. Or maybe that's what I mean. Like, I feel like if something here is going to end for you, the events of your life are going to be switched up in a way that is going to be something truly unexpected, unforetold, unanticipated, but like amazing. And that is really like, it's an odd message. I've never gotten a message like that before. I can't tell you how I got that message based on these cards, but I did. And there's something in these cards that makes me sad a little bit. Like something like you thought things were a certain way and they're not. Things just aren't what you expected, not what you bargained for. I don't know if the person you dated, you thought they were amazing and perfect and the love of your life, and they're just not. I don't know the story. I'm not getting like a horrible message out of this. I'm not getting you like, crying yourself to sleep every night necessarily, but I do think that there could be, but I didn't ask for that. This wasn't a reading about like digging into what's bad for you. That's why I didn't get it. So I went into this reading thinking this is an exciting, positive reading. This is about something truly magical that's going to be happening to you. So I'm going to go back and say, that's my message here, that you having the strength to either end or move on, whatever situation you're in, whatever you need to move on from, is going to result in some kind of like good luck or good fortune or an event or like a something, an inspiration. There's going to be something coming your way as a result of taking care of yourself. Whatever taking care of yourself is or means, this could also be like maybe you need to stop drinking. So instead of drinking, you run every night on the beach and then you meet that person running. Or maybe you go to like an AA class, and when you're in the AA class, I don't know, but I just feel like there's going to be a chain of events that is somehow going to lead to something you never could have imagined. And it's going to happen when you make a decision to change some event in your life that has to do with you taking care of yourself, going with your gut feeling, protecting yourself, something like that. And if someone said this to me right now, I would have to think about it. It's not like one thing. Well, and I'm like in a trance right now in this moment, but I can't think of one thing that would jump out at me where I'd be like, I need to stop doing this. But I'm sure if I thought about it for a couple minutes, I'd be like, oh, I could cut this out of my life. And then if I cut this out, maybe I'll do this. And if I do that, maybe, then who knows what could happen. So this is my like message that I'm getting. It's quirky, it's a little odd, but it is actually terribly exciting. And I'm going to get 2 cards where there's more. Don't worry. We're gonna really dive into this because this is potentially the most exciting reading of the day, and it definitely started out on shaky ground. Like, ooh, this was not what I signed up for. Okay, I want to see you. I want to see you when this happens. Like, what message can we get? Like, who are you going to be when this happens? Almost like a sign. How are you going to know what to change? Or, so we're going to turn, oh my gosh, we are going to ask for a card. This is going to be like input from spirit as to something to help you recognize yourself when you need to change something. And that's going to put the events in motion. Okay. So I'm going to get this card right now. Okay. So water, creation. I'm going to just spit fire here a little bit. Like, okay. So I'm going to take this literally first and say, maybe there's something to do with water. Maybe I don't know, maybe there's a part of your life or there's a routine in your life that could either like lead you to water, that could be like a new healthy routine, or there's something that has to do with water, which is incredibly vague. But there's something to do with water that is going to be a message of like, okay, do this, start this. This is going to be a source of inspiration. This is going to kick off this amazing change. Or maybe it's something, I don't know why I'm going back to the alcohol, like drink less. Maybe you start drinking more water, and maybe as a result of that, you have to go pee more, and then you use the restroom and you find $10 million in the restroom. I don't know, but like, this is just an example of how random this can be, but I'm telling you, there's good luck coming your way. And it will happen when you start taking care of yourself or changing this one little thing that you want to take care of. But really, the little word that goes above this is creation. And this is like, you could apply like some kind of religious or like baptismal aspect to this. There's definitely, we've got white doves in the card, white dress, white hair, this woman kind of emerging from water. I don't know, maybe there's a lake you dive into, or maybe you have like a summer spot where you like swim in the fresh water. I'm not sure, but like, this, I hope, can speak to you in some way and provide a source of like kind of clarity around this, because I really do feel that there's something, first and foremost, there's something you need to do for yourself that I think is overdue or nagging you, or very much like you need to take care of yourself. And that's real. And when you do this, and I get the feeling it has to do with a relationship, it is probably something to do around ending a relationship, or ending a dynamic that is in your relationship that like isn't serving you anymore. It's something to do with a relationship, with loves, with those kind of emotions and feelings. And then as a result of that, you are going to get a gift. You're going to get a gift for taking care of yourself, for going with your gut feeling, for trusting yourself, for loving yourself. This is going to be, there's going to be a gift that comes your way. And then, so I do have, okay, 2 more cards to pull over. So, let's see. Oh, this isn't, I thought we were going for longer on this one. Okay, let's get 1 more card. 2 more cards, but one of these, and this is just going to help provide a little more insight, because if there's a vagueness around this, or if we want some more answers, or just something even more to look forward to in this capacity, I'm going to turn this card over, and it's going to be insight from spirit in one capacity or another. And we have the manta ray, and I'm, interestingly enough, and I'm happy, these cards, it's a deck of cards, they look like this. They're oracle cards, and there's like, let's say 15 cards devoted to each of the 5 elements. Water being one of the elements, ether being the 5th. And the manta ray is the water. And we do have water here. So this is just one more piece to tell me that there's something to do with water. And it's, I mean, I feel like the manta ray is in the ocean, but there's very much this sense of ease, this flow, this ease that has to do with water. It's not an element of fighting water. It's like a very peaceful tranquility that comes with being near water, or like interacting or associating with a water or a large body of water. So I'm going to keep this as a further like backing up this card. Okay. And what was the other card I was going to pull? Are we like running out of our cards here? I guess this reading is just very, very interesting to me. Okay, I am going to ask, and I'm sorry to be cutting this reading short. They're usually going about 20 minutes, but we've got, well, okay. Okay, this is like a quote card. It's an input from spirit. It's always kind of quirky and ever so slightly off topic. So I like saving them to the very end because I don't want to take the direction of the reading too much on what this card can be, because it can be so random, but it always means something. I want to get another one of these personality cards, and I want to see you once you've made this change. Like once things start clicking for you, once you've had this kind of gift from the universe, I want to see you. And I want to see what that looks like for you. And this is going to be kind of like, this is another thing that should speak to you, but it'll be like this should make you excited and kind of like ignite you a little. So yeah, let me get this gift of what it's going to look like for you. And north, expansion, definitely some water in this card, but also this sense of like, so explorers, they go north. They explore north. That can be the soul, like you can look up to the skies, looking straight up can be north. There's something unknown about the north. There's something kind of cold and crisp and clean and very serene. And expansion is the word given to this card. And this is like almost this kind of unlimited possibility aspect here. It's a card that makes me feel like you're going to be kind of on a bit of a soul's journey. You're going to have the time and the peace and just the space. This is a card of space, but in a very like positive way, but there is something spiritual. I'm getting the spiritual component. So I do think that once you do all this, you are going to step into maybe a more spiritually, like a more heavy with this. Your space is going to feel like a little more intense spiritually. And I think that's a good thing. And I'm not saying it's lacking for you right now. I mean, I think even the fact that you're watching a tarot video like very much speaks to how spiritually connected you are. But there's going to be like a next level of this. Like maybe you have some real gifts or talents in like in a psychic way, or in a way of like, what am I trying to say? Almost like you have a power to apply, like almost like a psychic gift to your life, and you're not applying it. I feel like there's something else there for you. There's some kind of like foresight or insight or gift that you have that you're not quite tapping into. And I also feel like that has something to do with the water. And I can't really like understand it, but there's something that's going to be coming to you throughout all this. Whatever good fortune is going to hit you, there's also going to be this next level of like, okay, and now this is kind of like the person you get to turn into and evolve into. And this is a very good person. This is a very interesting person. It's a smart person, but it's someone who's like really, really tapped in. And if there's a part of you that always felt like you wanted to be more, and I mean, to say spiritually, like, and I've said that word so much, it gets watered down. But what I mean by that is like someone who really, I don't know, like you feel things, or you are going on these, like, you can, do like these astral journeys and these things that you hear other people talk about, like all those weird things. But the people who do these things really believe in it, and they really get somewhere with it, and they live like very rich, fulfilling, happy lives. And I just feel like there's an aspect of this that's going to come to you. And I really, who knows, if I keep talking about it, I'll sound like a nutter, but I just feel this for you. But if that doesn't speak to you or get you excited at all, the rest of this is really a very exciting message about like, you're going to take care of yourself. You're going to switch up some habit. You're going to do something differently that you know you need to do. It's been on your mind for a while now. And when you do that, something magical is going to happen. And I just, boom, there you go. Okay, we are now going to ask for Spirit's input in a quote. And again, just bear with me because this is always a fun one. It's like a wild card, but we will see what this input is, and it pertains to all this. So this card came up on the last one, and I actually like it. It's not that much of a wild card. I shuffled like crazy. Raise your vibration. And this does, in the last reading, it had a slightly different meaning for me. In this reading, it does tell me, there's something that you are going to feel and experience that is going to kind of like lift you. There's this new kind of like elevation on top of the good luck, on top of you taking care of yourself, on top of you like maybe stopping something you've wanted to stop or change about your life or your habits or your ways or your personality or whatever that you've wanted for a long time. On top of that, you are going to get, there's going to be a gift of like energy and vibration that's going to come to you. And I do think that when I see this raise your vibration card, it makes me think of someone who's like higher functioning. They're happier, they're healthier, they're taking care of themselves. They have cleaner thoughts, like the hate, the bitterness, the anger, it all gets dropped. Like they are really just like these clean burning machines, like from top to bottom. And it reminds me of someone who's like, chakras are spinning at, I don't know, a rapid rate or however chakras are supposed to work. Like you're going to be completely like intact and on fire and just, I don't know, like buzzing, but in a very good, exciting, powerful way. And that doesn't excite you. I mean, I don't know what to say because, yeah, there's a lot here. And, I hope this reading excited you. I really do. I would love to hear your comments or your feedback or like, I don't know, come back in a month and let me know how things are. But or just watch another reading. But happy to have you, grateful for it. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you again. Thank you. Goodbye.